shouldn't have muted my thing,
Are you good now?
Yeah.
Okay. Sheesh. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming back on here, man. It's been a while since we've had you on here. So since then, you kind of told me that you've done a little bit of moving. So what unit are you on now? Because before, when I was up there, we was on the gang unit for years and years. So where are you sitting at currently?
Well, now I left from 2. I was on dorm 2 for a couple of years and doing the college thing and stuff. And now I've been down here maybe 2 weeks,
Okay.
and I'm on G unit.
G Unit. Now, I remember back in the day, G Unit was for workers or people that did not get in trouble up there at Evansville. Like, you're down there chilling. Now,
Yeah, now it's nice down here, but now that's got the RSAT down here, the
okay,
RSAT program, and I'm on the graduate side.
okay. Now, you told me they have refrigerators in that pod.
Huh?
You said that they had refrigerators in there?
Do they have what in here?
Refrigerators.
Oh yeah, man, they got a refrigerator in here.
Damn.
It's crazy.
When's the last time you've seen a refrigerator or used one?
Well, I was working in the kitchen in the officers' dining hall. They got a pretty big fridge in there, but this is like a fridge at home, man. It's crazy. It's been about 14 years since I've seen one.
Oh shit. God damn.
Yeah.
So today, there was a couple questions that people would ask me because a lot of people like seeing and hearing about pretty much either booty bandits or violence. You know what I'm saying? People love hearing about that shit. So I had a couple people asking stuff, knives and people getting stabbed. How many different types of knives have you seen over the years, and have you seen anybody get stabbed?
I have seen people get stabbed before. I've witnessed a couple here, and back when I was doing time in Boise, Idaho, I seen quite a few back then too. As for different kinds of knives, I've seen knives made out of everything. From toothbrushes, razor blades, from just sharpened pieces of steel, plastic, plexiglass. I've seen just numerous kinds. If you can melt it down and sharpen it, or if you can break it off of something and sharpen it, it can be used.
Yes, sir. Do you remember the white plastic knives that they had in the kitchen? They used to cut the milk nipples with.
Yeah.
So I got caught with like 4 of those things because they're plastic. So you can run through the metal detectors with these things and they won't hit you with it. Or when they come to wand you down, anything hard and plastic was always my favorite because you didn't have to worry about metal.
Yeah, everybody. What I've seen here the past few years, I've seen people get caught with plastic knives and stuff, cutting the lids off of locker boxes or a chair. Or it just seems
Or a
ridiculous,
fan.
but it can be done.
Now, I know that since I've left that, I'm not going to say things have calmed down because they definitely haven't, but would you say since in the past 5 years, how has things been with prison-wise? Like, I know that they've moved a lot of people around recently that you told me. How do you think the prison's been in the past few years?
In the past few years, it's mellowed out a lot. There hasn't been like back when you were here, when we were on B2 and stuff. It's not the same. B2 is not B2 no more. B2 is like intake, and the old B2, a lot of people's gotten out, but some have come back. But it's just not the same anymore. The violence has gone down, I think. A lot more programming and stuff, and they just got us so segregated and split up.
I have a feeling that's like a lot of dudes that were in the mix back in the day, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them have now getting closer to that end date, or have the end date in sight, so they're starting to calm down a lot more because they're not with all this fuckery that used to go on back then. I feel like a lot of people have really started to sat down and started to realize, like, doing all this stuff, it gets you nowhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of them have matured and grown up a little bit and realized it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. And they're starting to realize that if they ever want to go back home, they got to straighten up. And a lot of people have done that.
Now, how many people can you say that you've seen and known and came across that have gotten out, came back multiple times?
And I'm seeing some guys getting ready to go home again out of, they've been here 3 or 4 times. And they don't got a lot of time to do, maybe a couple of years, but they seem to get out and come right back. They just can't break that cycle.
Yeah, man. I talked to Can2 a couple weeks ago. I got hold of him. He's out there doing all right, man.
Yeah, I keep in touch with him. He keeps in touch with me. He stays out there working though.
Yeah,
which is good.
Oh yeah, he did a lot of time. Plus, he did the Fed time before he came and did the state time anyway. So he did a good bit of time, man.
Yeah, he did a lot of time, and it's he's one of the ones that got out and have done good, and are working every day and not doing the things that would land him back in there.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, my cousin, I think he finally got sent to the feds. We did plenty of years together with my cousin. He got out and did a bunch of crazy stuff, hostage taking, tied this chick up, was smoking that boot stuff, ended up losing his marbles. And people would ask me, man, what's up with your cousin? I'm like, look, man, he wasn't able to break that cycle. But then again, he is kind of institutionalized, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's one thing I think about a lot, is all the time that I've done, I'm used to doing time in prison where, it's sort of structured. They tell me when to go eat. They tell me pretty much when to go to bed. When counselors, I'm afraid that I'm going to be so used to that I'm going to have people, there to help keep me in line and tell me what to do. If I have free reign, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I have a feeling that you'll be fine when you get out. Now, don't be wrong. There's going to be a lot of changes, obviously. I only did 5 years, and there was a lot of changes within that time. But I have a feeling that you're very strong-willed, and now that you've done all this time and have watched and observed everything and everybody, I feel like when you get out, you'll be so focused on not going back that you'll succeed very well because you've got a lot of passions that you like and are very skilled at. And I feel like as long as you can keep busy, you know what I'm saying, you'll be fine.
I'm worried about if, I can't stay busy. What if I find too much time on my hands and I just get bored? I think about that a lot. But I worry about it, but I don't worry about it. It's something that I'm going to have to just do and experience before I can really say what's going to happen.
Yeah, because you can have a game plan when you're in prison. I definitely had this game plan when I was in prison, but the moment you come out, it's different for other people. But some people can stay on that mission and stay focused. Opposed to me is, I have an addictive personality, and I was around individuals that maybe I shouldn't have been around, and that definitely strayed me away. But once you get focused and on path and on track, I feel like you'll be fine. You've got a lot of support out here. Gibby, you remember Gibby? He just got a hold of me.
How's Gibby doing?
He's doing all right, man. I've seen a lot of pictures of his family and stuff. He's out here doing good, man.
Yeah, he's another one that got out and was like a success,
Yeah, dude. I feel like a lot of them dudes, though, they did way more time than I have and have actually been to prison prior also. So I feel like once we start getting older, we're like, Man, if we have the possibility of getting out, of course, like I mean, things happen. Everyone's in the same circumstances, but I feel like most are focused on the long term opposed to what's going to happen in the next month type shit. You know what I mean?
It's guys like you and Gibby and Cantu that have gotten out and actually done something with their lives that, makes me focus and drives me to change while I'm in here.
Oh yeah. Plus, it's
I
like
look up to you guys.
we can see the change that you've made over the past few years in there. So it's nothing but positivity and you knowing what's to come and knowing you might need to do a couple things before you get out, but from far as I can see, since me being out, you've changed a good bit, and it's for the better though. Like you're still you're still Chewy. You haven't changed who you are. You just stopped doing shit that kept getting you fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've noticed a big change, and I'm happy with how I changed.
Oh yeah, it's only for the greater, And what surprised me was honestly when I got there, it was the politics. Like even though B2 didn't hold every single last gang member, but being up there with pretty much every single top, it's like this is big boy grown up shit. Like if you fuck up, there are consequences, and it's kind of like if you are a child. Prison will definitely make you grow up because if not, some people can get killed, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, growing up and doing all the time that I've had in here, it sort of, I don't think I would have grown up the same way if I wasn't in prison.
Oh yeah.
It changed me, but getting older in here, I've learned a lot of things. Learned a lot of good things while I was in here too.
Oh yeah, for sure. And honestly, I feel like prison it's a very informational spot. If you can take that information, retain it, you can actually grow and be a better person once you get out, even though you're in this crazy environment with all this violence and sexual tension and anger and shit all the time, and it just shows that there's a lot of your family members that are also watching these videos and they see that you're doing good and doing a lot better, and they've definitely given you plenty of shout outs wanting you to keep doing what you're doing because they also see it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, do you have any shout outs you want to give out to anybody out there?
I don't know. You asked me this before, and I don't know. I don't know.
Any family members or homeboys just want to say, hey, keep your head up type stuff?
Just everybody that I've done time with and that are out there doing good, good job. Keep it up. Don't come back.
Right? Don't come back or you're gonna bite the fucking bullet.
Yeah.
So you still in these classes and stuff?
Yeah, I'm still doing the college thing, but this semester they didn't have a teacher and they didn't offer one of the classes I need to graduate, so I'm taking the semester off.
Hey, but you're still working though, right?
Am I working? Not since I moved. I'm trying to get a job.
Okay. So you don't have to have a job to be down in G Unit on the graduated RSAT side though.
No, not that I know of. But, I am trying to get a job though. Because there's, it's nice down here, but there's not a whole lot to do.
I gotcha. Sitting there being bored sometimes, it can definitely get you in the certain positions where you might get in trouble because you get bored, you get restless, you want to do something. Now you said you've gotten back into weightlifting and stuff.
Yeah, I have. I'm doing a little bit here and there, trying to get back into it.
Hell yeah! What's your number sitting as of right now for bench, deadlift, and shoulder press and stuff? Squats.
Well, right now, all we have is the highest weight we can get up to is 255. So I do that. I've done that for since the 30s.
You motherfucker. It's a light 250, you know what I'm saying? That's all the weight that they have out there currently at the time.
Yeah, they have it welded together. So they have different weights. and they start at 135 and 135, 185, 205, 225, 255.
It sounds like some Mount Olive stuff. How they have it
Yeah.
welded together.
Yeah.
Damn. Now, when's
It's
the
all
last time
together,
that
and that's the
someone
biggest we got.
when's the last time someone's been hurt with the weights, or did they just take the weights because of COVID?
They took them because of COVID, is what they said, and then they slowly started giving them back to us, but they were welded together. We have no more. They seem to think that, I guess, that somebody will get hurt, but
Honestly, I didn't really hear of too many times of someone getting hit while I was up there. Now, it might have been like one or two times, maybe, but most of the time, people knew that if you took the weights off the weight pile and used it to hit somebody, that they were going to get taken, and then now you was going to get fucked up by the 400 or 500 people that are really dedicated to those fucking weights.
yeah, that was the whole thing. So, but nobody actually hit anybody with anything. Uh, but I think what was a problem was people fighting, getting black eyes or busted hands. They'd hide it, go out the wreck, and say they dropped the weight on their
Right on their
face.
finger.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man. God damn. I remember taking plenty of trips up to medical over some bullshit just to see some people, you know what I'm saying? Medical was definitely the place to be back in the day. You know what I mean? Sheesh. I don't know how many motherfuckers was run up there for no reason.
Oh yeah, it's not really like that anymore. It's gone downhill.
Do you remember? I don't really want to say their names on here, but you remember the two chicks that were like the main chicks that were there
Yeah,
back then? I know
yeah.
the one's gone, but the other one, is she still there?
No,
No?
no.
Man. Woo, God damn. That's crazy. So how much of the population of the like the COs, how many new COs have come and gone? Like, is Scheller still up there?
Yeah, Sheller's here. He left for a couple years and came back. But almost everybody that was here when you were here, they're either a higher up now, a gold badge, or gone.
Man, honestly, I really respect who's it, Lieutenant Keesley? That used to be in the hole?
Keesley?
Yeah. I used to like him, man. Like, I never really got into it with the COs, you know what I'm saying? Like, I goofed off, but I never really like gave them issues. He was one of the ones that always kind of looked out for me when I went back into the hole all the time. He'd always give me a job once in a while, and I really fucked with him because of that, because I could not sit in that cell all day, man. Sheesh.
He's still here. He's a higher up now. He's up there.
He's up there?
He doesn't see him do his rounds every once in a while, but yeah, he's here.
God, man. Well, this recording time is running down. As I said before, next Friday I'm gonna go ahead and send you that. All right. All right. I'm gonna cut it off here for now. Keep your head up. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a call back though, but we'll be done for filming here as of right now. All right, man. I greatly appreciate it once again. Thank you for coming on to Life in Prison, showing individuals what it actually is to live in prison, maximum security. So once again, truly greatly appreciate it. And I know there's a lot of people out here that definitely support you, man. All right, man. Take it easy, buddy.